Hello again, Libra. This is your mid-monthly reading for March. We're going to be looking at the last 2 weeks of March for you guys. And before we begin, I have 2 cards for you. So from Le Vampire, you pulled compassion, empathy, simpatico, and kindness. Now, I love this card more for the reason that I feel like it has to do with you having compassion, not only for others, but more importantly for yourself, especially with what you pulled in Chakra Wisdom. Now, compassion from Le Vampire, the blessing here says that this is an opportunity to change your mind about who has compassion within their heart and who is a caring being. And then there also may be a fear here that accepting help will mean that you are judged or seen as weak, and that's not the case. So you may have assistance coming through to help you, and compassion is saying to be open to that. But, again, for me, more importantly, has to do with you having compassion for yourself as well. And then with Quest from Chakra Wisdom, the very first quote on this card says that, "When I am somewhere else, my life will have meaning." This card is basically talking about how this woman thinks that she needs to take a certain path to get to where she wants to be when she's been on the right path the entire time. The inspiration here says that you may be on a quest that is unnecessary. Allow yourself the space for self-discovery. And then the key ideas are being open to wisdom and commitment to your path. And then keywords are courage, journey, change, and answers. So I feel like maybe some of you right now are feeling like your life hasn't quite started yet. I feel like looking at quests that, you're wanting to take this different path, that you think that your life is going to start when you find it, but the truth is that you're already on it. And then again, with compassion, it's like you need to have compassion for yourself. All right, Libra, here we go. Here's the energy coming through, the Page of Pentacles. Seeing that as a signifier, again, it's like with Quest, you're having messages come through about, new opportunities for financial gain. The Page of Pentacles is to me, it's like starting at the bottom and working your way up. It's achievement through hard work. It may be slow going, and there may be a lot of tedious work that's involved, but there's definitely opportunities here for more financial gain. And Quest, it's like, I almost feel like some of you might be looking at getting a new job, and there's this feeling that your life won't start until you've gotten this new position or started working your way up the ladder. In the past, the Five of Pentacles, well, no wonder. The Five of Pentacles, again, it's about loss, poverty, feeling like you're being left out in the cold, rejection. And seeing that as the past coming through, I kind of worry that, maybe you're not seeing that opportunity that's being presented to you. But then at the same time, with that being the past coming through, it can explain why Quest in the Page of Pentacles is sitting there. If in the past you just weren't making enough, or if you were rejected, as far as job opportunities go, is what I feel like. And then also with that feeling of the Five of Pentacles and seeing compassion, the whole thing with being rejected, there's 2 people. It's not just one. It's not just you. You aren't the only one that's been rejected. There's 2 people walking past the church looking destitute. You're not alone there. And with compassion, it's saying that, if you have people coming through to help you right now, you can't carry that fear that they're looking at you like you're weak, or that they're judging you. Because I still feel opportunities here. And in the present, the Two of Cups. Well, now, you talk about rejection, and then you see the Two of Cups. That's difficult to see. But, I'm hoping that Five of Pentacles is staying in the past where it belongs. Now, with the Page of Pentacles, this could be an earth sign seeing that Two of Cups there. Somebody who is, somebody who has a younger mentality or is like lighthearted or young at heart. Right, but generally, any of the court cards in the Pentacle suit, they're dependable people. But I still feel like, these are messages coming through to you, and I wonder if maybe, it almost feels like maybe some of you got rejected by somebody that you were working with. Possibly, with the Two of Cups, seeing that as the present moment says that your focus is on that emotional bonding between you and another person. But in the past, there's these feelings of rejection. Now, the Page of Pentacles could also talk about, you working at this relationship as well. But seeing compassion show up, again, it's you needing to have compassion for yourself and for others. Future conditions, the Six of Swords, needing to move away from that conflict. I mean, look at it. There's the past and into the future conditions. I feel like if you guys are working on a relationship where there may have been these feelings of rejection before, it's like you're wanting to move away from that. I mean, look at it. And then there's this relationship caught in the middle, My goodness, Libra. Your best path to follow, wish fulfillment. And every time I see this card, I always say the same thing. Seeing it as your best path to follow is telling you that you really need to think about what that looks like for you. When you take your focus away from feelings of rejection and you start focusing on what this looks like, what does that emotional bonding look like? What does this relationship look like? That is what will start to manifest for you. And the Six of Swords is good to see in between the two because it's saying that you're moving away from that conflict, but I still feel like it's a work issue. Like there's work stuff going on here. It could be a relationship with somebody that you work with, but it could be your work or like lack of finances getting in the way of the relationship as well. You'll have to forgive me, guys. I'm getting sick again. That's what happens when you have children. Oh yeah. So the Knight of Pentacles, and look at it. It's like in the past there was, this feeling of loss and rejection, and here you're working, and now there's like this methodical planning going on. The Knight of Pentacles, again, Earth. There's this Earth feeling around you. And dependable. But I feel like this is the energy that's surrounding you. It's like you're taking from it because it's in your environment, right? Like you're wanting to put in the work here to move away from that conflict. It may have to do with the relationship. And again, with an earth sign, the Knight of Pentacles is like slow, methodical planning. Where that page is like starting at the bottom and working its way up. The Knight is like, okay, now I've learned something here. I'm going to start planning out how to continue financial success, And in terms of work situations, that's fantastic to see for you guys because if, in the past you had issues with your job, I feel like things are going to start to change, especially if you're looking for new work. That's perfect. It's perfect. But again, dependable. A dependable person. This isn't like if it were the Knight of Cups to show up in your environment immediately, I would be questioning what is it that they're offering. I love the Knight of Cups, but there's that question there on whether or not, they're going to follow through. But with the Knight of Pentacles, absolutely, there is follow through there. Wow, Libra. Your hopes and your fears, and that's perfect to see. Seeing the Three of Pentacles, for me immediately says that you're going to do the right thing. And the reason why that's the first thing that comes to me is when you look at the description of the card, it's showing off your work and being recognized for it. People are seeking you out for what you do here. It's like you're just starting. Where when you get into the Eight of Pentacles, you're like refining it. Here, it's like you're showing it off. Clearly you're doing something right here because, again, you're being recognized for it. So to me, it says that you're doing the right thing. And when it comes to your work situation, that's perfect. It's perfect. again, it's you working your way up. I mean, you're really putting in some hard work here. Hard work. And, with that being in your hopes and your fears, it's saying that, you're hoping that you're recognized, and you will be for the work that you're putting in here. But I feel like you're wanting recognition from somebody in particular, with the Two of Cups showing up, and again, earth feeling. And then having the Nine of Cups as the best path to follow immediately says to me that you're wanting that wish fulfillment. Not only are you working here, and this always seems to be the case with Libra. I love it. There's always two parts going on here. Here's your work situation, right? But then there's also this relationship stuff going on as well. And again, it could be somebody that you're working with. But your focus is like wanting to be recognized by this person, because the Two of Cups, again, it's like wanting that relationship, And with compassion, I almost feel like maybe there was a rejection before, and now, things may be starting to change as far as that goes. And again, it could be somebody at work. But you're moving away from that conflict of the Five of Pentacles, which is perfect. But it's like you're wanting to be recognized by somebody, right? And you're wanting that emotional fulfillment as well. Wow. Okay. Oh, and the outcome, look at that, the Hermit. The Hermit is like, this is really about solitude. And that's one of the things that I love about the Libra readings, is that, you guys really sit back and you think about stuff before you actually go jumping in, which, with the Knight of Pentacles, that's perfect. It's perfect, especially when it comes to your finances. But the Hermit is about taking that journey that is going to feed your mind and your soul. It's looking for those answers that are within, not without, within. And the Hermit and the Two of Cups is conflicting, because the Two of Cups is the bonding. It's the coming together of two people. The Hermit is saying that, you're going to end up doing this alone. But I feel like you're okay with it. Like, I almost feel like, if there was a relationship issue, especially with your work situation, it's like you're moving away from that, because it's almost like your finances and your emotional fulfillment is more important to you than what could potentially happen here, and this could also suggest you building good work relationships as well. But for me, when I see the Two of Cups, immediately I think relationship, emotional bonding. But seeing the Hermit come out, it's perfect. It's perfect, because to me it says that you're not getting caught up in that. Clearly, you're not getting caught up in that. You're more interested in what's going on here, because you're working towards something that's going to create some financial gain for you. Look at the Pentacles, especially with the Five as a past coming through, and what you're pulling here is perfect. You're busting your ass to correct that issue. But the Hermit is saying that, you're definitely doing it on your own. But then, the other part with the Hermit too, it's almost like you're taking a step back from relationship issues, like really needing to have an understanding of what this is about before you make any action, But definitely there's that meditative period here about what does this look like, this being your best path to follow, and that being the outcome is perfect, because that's what you need to be doing, and you're moving away from that conflict, and you're busting your ass to correct this, and you're going to do the right thing. But still, there's like this question about a relationship and compassion, looking at that with what you have going on here immediately says to me that, you need to not, it's kind of like if you have people coming through that are trying to help you, especially in as far as like work or, financial situations, whatever the case may be, you can't carry that fear that, they're like, I almost feel like you worry that they're trying to get something out of you, like they're only helping you to get something from you. Like compassion is saying no, that the people that are coming through are really genuinely trying to help you. But again, for me, more importantly, it's about you having compassion for yourself, especially with quest, because clearly questing, right? And that first quote on that card is what gets me the most, when you are constantly in that space of feeling like, when I'm here, or when I have this taken care of, or when I have this job, or whatever the situation may be, when that happens, then my life will begin, right? And that's not the case. Every day that you wake up, your life is beginning. Every day is a new day. I mean, we hear it all the time, right? You can't constantly be seeking for, that right path, because that right path is already in front of you. But I would just say, be careful about any kind of judgment that you're passing on people who may be coming through to help you, especially in financial situations or like work opportunities. Like, I almost feel like there's this feeling on your side where it's like, what are they trying to get from me? Energy, which I like seeing. Expansion. Wow, now. And stuck. Yep. Stuck is for sure. That's about right on. All right. Let's take a look here. Oh, the Ten of Wands. I had a feeling. And it's no wonder why the Hermit is showing up. The Ten of Wands, it's an ending. It's an ending, and it leads into a fantastic beginning, but, there's this, it's almost like you shut down, because the Hermit is saying, like, all right, I've had enough. I need to just be left alone here for a minute, because, you've been overwhelmed with all the shit that's been going on, which stuck. Absolutely. Expansion says to me that, again, with compassion, talking about people coming through, that you're expanding your inner circle. There's going to be people coming through, and they're going to be bringing this energy with them that I feel like is going to help you out. It's just that you need to, I automatically feel like you guys are going to be wanting to push them away. With the Hermit being there and the Five of Pentacles as the past coming through, you've been through enough. But there is still that part of you here that feels and stuck, right? Like something else needs to happen for your life to change. But you're going to do the right thing. It's just that I really feel like once you take your focus away from, that conflict, which, with the Six of Swords is exactly what you're going to do, and you start focusing on that Nine of Cups and what wish fulfillment looks like, I think things will start to change. But the Hermit is exactly what you need to do if you're feeling overwhelmed. Take that minute to just step back from everything. That way you can find the answers that you're seeking, so that you don't feel stuck, but still expansion. People coming through, and then energy. I automatically think of the energy of the universe, right? Because we're all made of the same thing. We're all made of energy, everything, right? To be pulling that is perfect. I feel like that's what you're going to attain out of, your moment of solitude with the Hermit. But, overall, Libra, I feel like even with that Ten of Wands coming out, it just explains why the Hermit is the outcome. There's going to be this overwhelming feeling with work, finances, and then a relationship. Because in the present moment, you're focused on this, but then there's the other part of you that's like, oh, I got to bust my ass to fix this shit here. But the Hermit's perfect. I feel like, again, you're going to do the right thing with that Three of Pentacles there. Yeah, you'll start to manifest what that wish fulfillment looks like. It's just right now, there's that stuck feeling. But if you give yourself that time in solitude to really think about what you want, those are the things that will start to manifest and get you out of that stuck energy. Okay, Libra, so I I know that the Ten of Wands is probably not what you wanted to see as a clarifier for the outcome, but for me it really gives me some understanding as to why the Hermit is what showed up as your outcome, because with everything that you have going on here, I really feel like this is the right thing to do, and it's understandable why all of this would be overwhelming, because in the past you're pulling these feelings of loss and rejection. You're coming in with the energy of the Page of Pentacles, and then you have the Knight. Definitely some earth energy around you, and it could be, you know, that this is somebody that you have a relationship with in your work environment, because this being the present moment is saying that you're focused on a relationship, right? But what I love about Libra's readings is there's always this part where you are working on you. You have this amazing ability to balance out the things that you want and the things that you need. And there is focus on both here, but you really need to pay attention to what wish fulfillment looks like to you when you are in this moment of solitude here. I think those are the answers that you need to be seeking right now. You know, in wish fulfillment, it's emotional fulfillment, yes, but it doesn't have to necessarily be through a relationship. It's like you understand that it can be through your finances and your work opportunities as well, because these two alone are fantastic messages to be pulling through, especially if you're looking for new work right now, or if you're working on a project. This is saying that things are going very well for you guys. And again, financial gain, being recognized, right? And there's that part too where I feel like it's almost like you're wanting to be recognized by somebody for the work that you do. But I love your readings and the fact that there's always that separation there, and there's always that, like, you know, so much of balance going on. Now, you know, here clearly you're wanting to move away from any kind of conflict, which is perfect for Libra, because again, you want that fairness and that balance. You don't want to continue to have this shitty feeling coming through. Now, I don't necessarily feel like this Knight here is responsible for that. I feel like maybe, you know, this is what you've experienced in the past, and that's now why things are starting to change when it comes to your financial wealth. Now, Quest, you have to remember here that you are on the right path. You are on the path that you are meant to be on right now. If you're seeking something else, that's all you're going to be doing is seeking, but you're already on the right path, and the Hermit is definitely reinforcing that. Your life has already begun. You are already doing things that are going to change the situations that are around you, which is perfect to see. It's perfect. But, you know, this to me explains why you have some stuck energy, right? There's just this part of you that's stuck right now, which again explains why the Ten of Wands is showing up as well. But the Hermit, again, in the Three of Pentacles, you do the right thing. You know what you need to do to clear this stuck energy up, which is perfect. And expansion to me is saying that your inner circle is going to start to expand. There's going to be some more people coming through in your life, especially with compassion. And again, there's that message there that, you know, the people that are coming through, they're not... The reason why compassion shows up is because it's telling you that they're not trying to get something from you. Like, they're actually wanting to help you because it makes them feel good, not because they're expecting something from you, which is what you may have experienced before. But I feel like, you know, there's going to be a part of your life now that's going to be expanding. Some new people are going to be coming through. And I really do feel like you need to have compassion for them. But more importantly, you need to have compassion for yourself as well.